Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to the show. My name is Jared Lee, and I'm joined, as usual, by my lovely wife, Jamie Lee. So, Jamie, how you doing?
I am doing really well, Jared. How are you?
I'm doing good. The show's a day late because, well, it's been a little bit since we've had an episode.
Been a couple weeks.
It's been a couple weeks. So we typically take a week off at the end of the year. We travel back to Missouri, saw our family, and then we got back, and apparently we brought a bug with us, and it's ran through the entire house. So far, Jamie hasn't gotten it. So knock on wood that you don't get it.
Cross my fingers.
Yeah, I had it, which I was down for like a day-ish maybe, and then we thought it was done, and then our kids got it at the same time, and recording didn't really happen. Lots of things there, but it's a great new year. So we had a good trip. We saw family, and somehow it is already almost in the middle of January.
I can't even deal with the fact how fast time is moving. I'm like, oh, we're 2025. I will be, I always clock it. I'll be 41 right after the new year, like 6 months. It's like my half birthday or whatever. And I'm like, I'm already 40 for 6 months. Like, what? It's not fair. It's not fair.
I just don't allow age to have any numbers. I don't like numbers anyways, really. So I'm just like, you know what? I don't know. Mentally, I'm 12. So I just go with that.
I'm not going to argue with that assessment.
That's mean. How dare you?
I'm kidding.
Well, so apologies getting the episode out late, but we're able to do this now. Kids are all feeling better, and now we can record. And I have to, we were going to record the other night, and Jamie was, dealing with sick kids. Very tired.
It was impossible. I was like, I don't think we can do this today.
I mean, we could have. It would not have been a very good episode.
It would have been at like 10:30 at night.
We went to record a Universal show. The day I started feeling bad, we were like in the middle of recording it, and I just realized like I am contributing nothing, and my head wasn't in it, and I was like, I need to go lie down, and that turned into me lying down for 12 hours straight. I didn't get up at all, so which for me is very rare. So it was it's been we've attempted multiple times, but hopefully this one goes through. Everything's running at least. We're doing good here. So but we have some things to go over because there's lots of things that Disney announced over typically a slow time. They don't typically announce a lot of stuff, but they came out with some discounts. And we're going to talk about all the attractions, parades, closures that are happening in the parks.
Construction.
Yeah, and what 2025 looks like. Obviously, I think a lot of people look toward Epic Universe opening. What's Disney going to do? So we're going to take a look at all that and talk about it. And that's basically going to be the whole show today. It's just all the news of what's coming this year.
I'm excited.
So I am too. We'll talk about it here. So before we do that, though, if you're watching us on YouTube or you would like to watch us on YouTube, you can check us out over at CTM Podcast on YouTube. You can get video versions of the show. We have show clips. We put reels up there. And so if you'd rather watch us than listen or do both, you can do that over there. And of course, you're listening on a good old trusty audio podcast form that's been around, I believe, at least since 2024. It seemed 2024 seemed like 10 years ago at this point, but I think it's been around since then. But if you are listening on any of those, we're on any of the available platforms that I'm aware of, unless you have a strange one that is hosted in Costa Rica, perhaps. I don't know. But all the major ones we are on. So if you please subscribe there, leave us a review. We'd greatly appreciate that. It helps us continue to grow the show. And of course, off to the new year, we have some new shirt designs we're coming out with. And if you like some new theme park shirts for trips coming up or just to have in general theme parks and pop culture, you can go to ctmapparelco.com. We have all the shirts you can find there. They're all printed on. We have multiple different types of comfort colors, next level. So if you want 100% cotton, if you want poly blended shirts, you want sweatshirts, hoodies, whatever you want, tank tops, we can make it all happen on those. We're hand printed in-house, shipped to you. And we have a sale going on right now, so you can still get 20% off for the new year. Just use promo code New Year, and you get 20% off your order, and get yourself some great T-shirts. Help contribute to the show if that's something you would like to do. And again, go to ctmapparelco.com, use the promo code New Year, and get 20% off of your order there. So, all right, well, let's get going on this. So the first one we have, we're going to talk about our new attractions and shows that are opening in 2025.
Yeah. So this list is not too long, but we're kind of waiting on stuff that's going to be coming the next couple of years. So 2025 is going to be kind of one of those years that's like a in transition, if you will.
It's a transition.
It's a transition year.
Yeah.
So Test Track 3.0, the ride reimagining, will be opening in late summer. And I think it closed this past June. And I think they said they were going to be closed about a year. So that tracks. How did you like the first like 2 versions of it? See, I really liked the original, like the yellow and the guy from what's his name? I always get his name wrong and I can't remember it, but he was like in that movie with Jennifer Aniston, and sometimes he sings. He's really funny. I can't remember his name, but he was in
Hugh Jackman.
No, he was in the pre-show.
I don't recall the pre-show much on that one. See, I remember a little bit of that one.
Yeah.
But like I said, I didn't start going to Disney much until we got married.
Right.
So you have much more experience. I liked, from what I've seen, the concept of like the crash test dummy one.
Yeah.
I thought it was funnier and better than the second one. It was okay. I mean, it's still test track. The whole point is to go fast outside.
Oh, yeah.
I did like the designing car part as a kid.
That was okay as a kid for sure.
Yeah, as an adult, you can skip it. Like our kids enjoy that, so it's like that always was something. So I don't know if they'll keep that or not. But I think as an active queue, part of it was cool.
Yeah,
because you were still like doing something while you're still waiting in line. But yeah. So I would say the crash test dummy version was the one I enjoyed the best.
Probably me too. But yeah, we'll see what happens with that. Zootopia, Better Zoogether. And that is supposed to be winter 2025. That is replacing It's Tough to Be a Bug. And that ride will close sometime this year. I mean, assuming. When they say winter 2025, this was confusing to me. So when they released this list late last year in 2024, they said winter 2025, this would open. And I was like, winter 2025 is like in a couple months, right? Because winter 2025... the end of the year is only like a week or 2. So, I mean, I think that's what they meant. I think they mean late 2025.
I'm not going to be surprised if it gets 2026.
You think it'll be...
I mean, if you're talking already winter, if they were actually like very literal on that, it could pop open right before the end of the year. It's possible. But I wouldn't be surprised if that one gets delayed. Well, we talked about before. I won't be surprised if a lot of the things that they've announced do get delayed further than they already have.
It's possible. I mean, they do tend to extend their construction deadlines, so
they like to take their time.
They like to take their time. Hey, as long as they get it right, I'm okay with that. But It's Tough to Be a Bug. What did you think of that one? I mean, like, I really didn't like that show.
I did it one time. I didn't like it. I'm not much on. I don't like bugs anyways. I don't like the sensation of bugs crawling on me. We never did it with our kids because it was kind of scary for kids.
I think we did it once with our daughter, but she was like really young.
You had to have done it because I don't think I've done that ride or that show, whatever you want to call it, in a long time.
I hate the stinging of your seats and the feeling of the bugs crawling. I did not like it. I did not like it at all. So I'm excited for this.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how much of a draw it'll be. I think it'll be something like that's the thing. Animal Kingdom needs a lot of stuff.
I agree.
It does need a lot of things. So, and I think 2025 is going to be a not great year for Animal Kingdom in particular.
I mean, with all these things closed.
Well, and if you look at that park already, I mean, it had 35% drop off in attendance compared to, I think it was the 2024 numbers compared to 2023 or whatever it was. The last the theme park entertainment association report that comes out. So I think it was based on 2023 numbers because we won't know 2024 until summer of this year now. But yeah, I think that park is going to definitely struggle, especially with that big universe, because I think a lot of people, and I think that's Disney's plan here, is to try and get people to still come over to the parks on some level, as Universal's looking to get more people over there. I think the park that gets hit the hardest is going to be Animal Kingdom, just because not only is there not a lot of stuff to do now, but you're going to have lots of stuff under construction. So this is like the only thing that's going to come online technically, maybe in 2025. Exactly.
Something else new that will be going into Hollywood Studios is going to be Villains Unhappily Ever After show, and that's going to be opening this summer. And that's the Villains show. I'm just going to call it the Villains show for a while. Unhappily Ever After is kind of a mouthful. So I think this is going into the old Lightning McQueen Racing Academy attraction, and that whole Sunset Showcase area back there is going to be Villains, basically. I don't know. Like, I think this will be a good addition, something that will keep us tied over until the Villains land opens. Maybe, I don't know. I think they'll close the show after the land opens. I think this is just like a placeholder until then.
I would assume. I mean, I think it's more or less. I've said all along, out of all the things they announced at D23, I think Villains Land is the ones that has the most potential. Mm-hmm. And I think it's a mistake, honestly, having it open the last thing. Because I don't think we're going to see it until, honestly, I don't think we'll see Villains Land until after 2030. Because they still have to develop all that land. Yeah. So it's something people have wanted villain stuff for a long time. So not only is it teasing the Villains Land, but it is a villains themed thing. Now, I don't know how much of a draw. I guess that's the question. You'll notice on this, a lot of this stuff is going to be shows.
A lot of shows.
You know, some meet and greets maybe.
Yep.
How much of that is going to be enough? I think that, and it's not I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing for Disney to appeal to a lot of these things to the Disney audience. But I think when you're talking about general audience, I guess you would just call them theme park normies that are just wanting to go to a theme park. I don't know how much shows are going to be a draw, but I do think for the Disney crowd, a villain show is something that people want to see. I just don't know how much of a draw in general it will be.
I guess we'll see. Yeah. Speaking of another show, The Little Mermaid, a musical adventure, will also be opening this summer. This was delayed. This was supposed to open late 2024, and it got pushed this summer. But yeah, this is just basically a reworking of the Little Mermaid, Voyage of the Little Mermaid show that closed in, I think it was for COVID, right? In 2020?
I just don't think it ever reopened.
It didn't reopen. That's right. Yeah. So hopefully it'll get, I'm hoping they keep some of the lasers because I love the retro 90s feel of that show. And I hope they don't lose all of that because it was kind of nice.
Although they may have, because if I remember right, I remember a lot of the aspects of this show got sold off.
Oh, damn.
I thought I remember that story. Again, it's been 2020 seemed like it was yesterday and also 10 years ago. I don't really, time is strange. But yeah, I imagine, honestly, it'd probably be more like Nemo, if I were to guess.
Well, they already had aspects of the puppets, like with the black light, and they already had that. So I don't think that's going away. But I think the those are going to be new songs. I think they're going to just rework it, and they're adding some new scenes in. So I think it'll be definitely better. But I like this is so cheesy, but I like the way the waves looked with the lasers and look like you're under the water. I know it's so 90s, but I don't care. Just really, I like that.
Maybe they bring back the lasers.
I want the lasers, or something like that.
Lasers are timeless.
Another thing that is going to be new this year that just got announced is that I don't know exactly what capacity because they didn't really clarify that, but there's going to be a new Bluey and Bingo something, and we don't know where. I think it'll be in Hollywood Studios, and I'm assuming it's going to be some kind of meet and greet. But I don't know. One
would assume. So surprisingly, so the long story, well, not a long story on this. The theme park rights for Bluey were not with Disney. I think they were with, I can't remember, whoever owns SeaWorld. Mm-hmm. And they had some Bluey elements in like some parades in like Pennsylvania. It's part of like a Sesame Street thing.
Yeah.
So I'm sure, they announced a Bluey movie that Disney's helping them against. They're distributing it. Disney's, I don't think, in charge of the creative side. Thankfully to me, if you like Bluey, I'm like, so the people that have been making Bluey are the ones that are making like the main guys making that movie. And then shortly after that, they announced that they are having some sort of Bluey they said a Bluey and Bingo experience on Disney Cruise Line and coming to the Disney parks, both Disney World and Disneyland.
Right.
No specifics. One would assume a meet and greet.
I don't know what else it would be.
And I would assume in that Disney Junior area.
Yeah.
Because it's a Disney Junior show, even though, it's not, Disney doesn't make it, but it is on Disney Junior. But this is one, I think potentially, like, given that, not going into, like, was it a good thing they just now announced all these things at D23 this year, but you can't get a lot of this stuff done in a short amount of time. Mm-hmm. A meet and greet of this stature, I suppose, would be a good move, considering it's something you can do pretty quick.
Yeah.
I am genuinely curious how much of a draw this will be for families, because families love Bluey. Like, Bluey is very, very popular. I just don't know how much meeting Bluey or Bingo was going to be enough to get people to come over there.
I guarantee you these will be very long lines.
Oh, I'm not doubting there'll be long lines. I guess I'm talking about, would people come specifically for that, or would it just be like, well, they also have this, so let's go over there. Like, I'm not, again, like I said, I don't really know where it'll be, but I think it'll be very, very popular.
I think for families with children between the ages of 0 to 6. That's going to be one thing where they're like, oh, we're going to go to, maybe Hollywood Studios if that's there, just to do that. I wholeheartedly believe that.
I could see that.
Really do.
I wonder if
our son would love it.
Yeah. I wonder if they'll be part of the Disney Junior show there.
I don't know. They'd have to redo the whole show.
True.
I don't know.
All they do, though, is come out in, waves.
Just add them in.
You could take out, Timba.
It's Timon.
Oh, sorry. Timon. Excuse me.
You put Timon and Pumbaa.
Sorry.
You said Timon.
I don't know. It's been a long time I've seen the movie. Anyways, you could
hilarious.
take him out and put Blue. I mean, they don't really do much. They just wave and dance a little bit. So, I don't know.
Oh, we'll see.
Yeah.
It's supposed to happen this month. So
did they say it's that soon?
I think so. I thought they said starting in January.
I thought the announcement said more details to follow. I didn't know that. I don't think they've actually given an actual date on it.
Well, never mind.
I don't think. I could be wrong. All right. Well, that's the list of actual attractions and shows that are opening up this year. Not a big list.
No.
Especially we'll talk about the end there about cumulative. How does this look going into 2025? We'll talk about that. But the other aspect I think a lot of people are excited about are there some parades that are coming.
Yes, there's one parade coming. It's called Starlight, or Disney Starlight, Dream the Night Away, and that's coming this summer. Disney Starlight will use the latest technology to tell new stories about the characters you love. All this is brought to life by the magic of the Blue Fairy, in addition to beloved characters from Walt Disney Animation Studios films Peter Pan, Encanto, Frozen, Moana, and more. So,
I mean, people have been asking for a nighttime parade for ever, as long as I can remember.
So it's been almost or more than a decade since we had one. And it's been even longer than that since we had a new one, if that makes sense. So, Main Street Electrical Parade was there for a while, then Spectrum Magic. Then they brought Main Street Electrical Parade back, and then it's been gone for a while. So I've talked about this on the show for literally years that I wanted a nighttime parade back. So I'm super excited for this. Super.
Yeah, I mean, I've thought about it. I'm not a big parade person. I think in general, it's having a nighttime parade is good because people like it, but it also, for people who don't care about parades, it does lessen up the lines because a lot of people will line up for the parades, and then the lines don't have as many, those long of waits. Mm-hmm. So I think it helps park flow in general. That's a great that's a good point. It's kind of like a party when you divide people up. So if there's no parade, obviously people are just going to do, a lot of people are going to ride things. So
I mean, once I see it a couple times, and I'll probably catch it a couple times after that, I'll do the rides. Yeah. During parades for sure. Yeah. I'm wondering how they'll do it though. I'm guessing they'll do the parade first and then the fireworks like they do in the parties. That's what they used to do.
I would assume, yeah. Which probably means it's going to be a lot. You're going to have to get a spot for fireworks and be a little harder because a lot of people go straight from the parade getting ready for the fireworks. But yeah, we'll see. I'm excited. I'm very excited. It'll be very pretty, very bright, lots of color. Now, it's not like Paint the Night Parade in Disneyland, but it could be similar. Probably
hopefully.
Not. Well, I mean, Disney does know how to do parades. They do them a lot.
Shoot.
So, one would assume they'll pull this one off pretty well. But the other aspect of things that are, I suppose, to get people to come are restaurants and lounges that are opening that are going to be brand new.
Yeah, Spaceship Earth Lounge. It doesn't really have a name. It's just a Spaceship Earth Lounge.
It's very original.
In Epcot is coming in late spring, so probably May, early June. This is going to go on the back side of the ride. So if you enter the park from the front, it's on the very, very back. Like if you're looking at Spaceship Earth from World Celebration Gardens, you can kind of see a section of windows on the back, and that's where it's going to be. So it'll be great views. Mm-hmm. Great views. It'll have smaller, I think this is smaller bite stuff, very, very loungy, not restaurant. So
yeah.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. Very, very, a lot of gold, a lot of champagne colors.
Yeah, I mean, supposedly you can see some of the fireworks from there. Epcot's already a very, no, not lounge, but obviously food and drink park. I think a lot of people want to do it. I suppose it'll just be how many people can go in there. Although being at the front of the park, that could mean it's going to be busy a lot because people come. But I don't know how many people come in immediately and go to a lounge.
I think it's going to be used a lot by locals and
for sure
APs. I think they might use a virtual queue system.
Probably. I mean, that's what they do.
At least at first.
Well, Nomad, you have to walk up, put your name. I wouldn't be surprised if it's something like
list.
that, like a walk-up list. But
yeah.
Another
lounge opening up is Pirates of the Caribbean Tavern. Again, we don't have an official name, but it was opening in late 2025, and they are currently working on it. Tortuga Tavern has been closed for a while, and I think it's going in there or going behind it, around it. It's over in that area. But that should be good.
I think in terms of the lounges, this one has this idea in general has the most potential. These themed lounges and bars.
I like
lounges, and lounges are something very popular, especially with APs and people go to the parks a lot. Pirates in a tavern sounds good to me. I think it's something they should have done this years ago, in my opinion. But I think it's kind of a no-brainer there. I guess we'll see how some people have been concerned about how rowdy it might be or something like that. But it's almost like you take the Trader Sam's concept of a themed area, bar and lounge, put it in there. So you'll have pirates going around doing things. So
I think though, I don't know how many years ago it was when they started serving alcohol at Magic Kingdom. How long ago was that?
Oh, probably 8.
Has it been 8 years?
9 years. Almost a decade.
Has it really been that long? Okay. Well, before that, it wasn't even possible. I think since they introduced alcohol into the parks, and obviously, right, you can't take your alcohol out of wherever you're being served in. So, like, if you're at Skipper Canteen or Cinderella's Royal Table or wherever, you cannot leave with that alcohol. You have to stay where you are. And I think the tavern will be the same kind of thing. Like, you cannot, just walk around with alcohol. You have to be like in there.
Yeah, you're not going to be able to take it out of here.
Right.
Yeah.
So there's that. Another lounge that's opening up in Magic Kingdom is going to be McKim's Mile House, and that's the DVC lounge that's going in where Frontierland what's it called?
The shooting arcade.
The shooting arcade in Frontierland. We're not DVC members, but, hopefully we'll get to take a look around at this when it opens this summer. I don't know. I mean, I guess DVCers really needed another lounge.
I guess.
I don't know.
I mean, it's one of those things where if you're DVC, that's great. If you're not, I mean, I guess at the end of the day, it's not. Most people weren't doing the shooting arcade anyways.
Right.
To be honest. I mean, it is an opening day attraction that they took away, which I know a lot of people didn't like, but probably more than likely, it's not going to impact most guests because they weren't utilizing it anyways.
I agree. It's one of those things. It's like, okay, that's easy to say goodbye to.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, for sure. So we won't get into the other things going on to Frontierland that I don't like, but that one I probably, in of itself, kind of doesn't have a huge impact, more than likely.
Okay.
But I think the thing that probably, at least potentially, has the most potential for impact given in 2025, with Disney going up with Epic Universe, because obviously if you look at the landscape at all, Universal is going to have a really big year, a huge increase in their attendance. And I've been saying all along, Disney's going to have to come out with some major discounts. And I know Disney was messaging and saying, like, we're not worried and they're catching up to us and all this stuff. Well, obviously, I don't think they're super confident in all the offerings that they have, because if they were, they wouldn't be offering the discount. So I think obviously, we have some discounts we're going to talk about. And all the ones here, I think we're probably going to see more, probably depending on how the bookings look later on in the year. But there are quite a few discounts that we can go through. Yeah. It's like they announced some. At the same time, they added another one after the fact. So whether you're an AP, a local, or out of state, whatever it is, you're looking to be able to get some savings.
Got lots of options. The first one I think is exciting to a lot of people was that the free dining promotion is back. So you can enjoy a free Disney dining plan when you purchase a 3-night, 3-day non-discounted package that includes a room at a select Disney Deluxe or Deluxe Villa Resort Hotel and a ticket with a park hopper option. And this is for arrivals most nights from May 27th to June 26th and July 7th through August 6th. So again, this is a non-discounted package and that you'll get free dining with it. For us, we have never found free dining to be worth it to us, in value-wise. To us, it makes more sense for us to do like a discounted room, just a hotel room. And it would make more sense to just like pay for dining out of pocket like that. we were talking about this earlier. We get why people do free dining. We get it. It's easier to like keep track of credits. You don't have to worry about like, budgeting your money. It's already paid for by the time you get on your vacation. So, this is very, very popular, and I'm sure a lot of people will be using it this year.
Yeah, I mean, inevitably. First of all, I'm not surprised to see it back.
Right.
Just because they pulled this. They started doing this after 9/11 when the parks were really struggling. Travel was way down as a way to get people in. So you're right. On an actual, people will ask, is it worth it? And it's like, well, okay, it depends on what you mean. Does it save you money? No, it's not going to save you money. But I understand why people do like it because it, like you said, it simplifies the trip in terms of the food's already taken care of. And I think the one thing people don't like about any theme park, but let's say Disney World in particular, obviously is like the upcharges, the microtransactions, and food being one of those. So if you can basically go on your trip and for the most part, everything's already paid for, it kind of has like an all-inclusive feeling to it.
Kind of.
Outside of the tip and things like that.
By the way, mentioning the tip, there are a lot of people that do the dining plan that don't realize that you have to tip.
Well, I guess you don't have to tip, but...
I mean, okay.
You're supposed to, you know what I mean?
Sure, but I know a lot of cast members just hate the free dining plan or dining plan in general because a lot of people just overlook that fact. Either they just forget about it or they don't know about it in general.
Yeah.
They think
it also complicates it's hard, there's a lot more work on the waiters and waitresses end when you're dealing with a dining plan. But so it's not going to save you money because you are paying rack rate for the room. Right. But it can be a simpler thing. So
depending on how many people are in your package.
Well, it also depends on like how much you plan to eat because you can get bigger portions. Like there's a lot of different variables that go along with it. For the most part, for most people, you're not going to save money you doing it, but it will make your trip. I can see definitely where it makes your trip simpler.
I can see like if you were a family of 6 and you were staying at the suites at Art of Animation. And you paid, rack rate and got the tickets and you got the free dining. I could see maybe that being closer to being worth it because that's 6 people's food you have included.
Right. And I can also see when you got like, say you got teenagers that they can go get stuff and you
pay with credits instead of money.
Yeah. Right. I mean, like I said, there's variables where it can maybe make more sense, but
you and I, nah.
No,
not
the way. I mean, not the way that we typically tour the parks and things like that.
Right.
But yeah, it definitely depends on how you plan on doing your trip and things like that. I still contend if you want to save money on the food, if you plan on eating in the parks a lot, go get the gift cards. You get like Costco and Sam's Clubs. You can get like 5% on those, and you can almost use that as your own dining plan. You can just say, okay, we have $400 or how much money in gift cards we're going to use for food. And you can kind of budget it that way and save a little bit of money. You're not going to save a ton of money, but you're going to save some with that 5% discount.
Sometimes they run 10% depending on what time of year it is, like at Christmas. Yeah. They might run higher. And then always register those cards on DisneyGiftCards.com and you can put all of them in. You can transfer them to just one card. Like, it's super easy. In case you lose one, too, you can transfer it to another card you have.
Yeah, I think you can. Does it keep it in there now if you load it into the app? You used to have to enter it every single time. Do you still have to do that? Or does it actually keep it in there now?
Are you talking about like mobile order?
Yeah.
No, it doesn't keep it in.
Okay.
So that's the only thing that's kind of annoying.
I wish they would do that. If you could load in, like you should be able to just add in your gift card amounts and have it loaded in and locked into your account. I feel like that would be so much easier. But
credit cards, they do that with, but not the gift cards.
Yeah.
I know.
I suppose no, it wouldn't work. I was going to say you could do a prepaid. You could do like a prepaid debit card type thing, but you wouldn't be able to transfer a gift card over to that.
Yeah, there's a lot of things to work out. Yeah.
But all right, we'll have free dining. They have some normal discounts. Not weird discounts, but normal discounts.
I say normal because it's available for everybody.
Yes, general population discounts, I suppose.
So I'm going to combine the ones that were announced earlier, or I guess a couple months ago, with the ones that were just announced. So it kind of covers through now to the end of summer. So you can save up to 30% off when you stay 5 nights or longer from May 1st through September 30th. You can save up to 25% off January 1st through April 30th on select days.
These are for hotel rooms?
These are for hotel rooms,
yes.
Yep. And then you can save up to $200 on a 3-day, 2-night room and ticket package from February 26th through June 30th. So there's there's some kind of overlap there. So, contact Zip Travel and they'll help you out with figuring out what's best for you. And this is the case with all the,
Yeah, vacationwithzip.com. Go check it out.
They can send the best deal that you're going to get. So, Florida residents, you can save up to 35% off most stays, May 1st through July 31st, if booked by February 24th. After that, it lowers to 30% off, and then you can save up to 30% off January 1st through April 30th on select days. So, Florida residents, at least 30.
Yeah.
Sometimes 35, depending on when you book it. Annual pass holders can save up to 40% off stays June 1st to July 31st, and up to 35% off from May 1st to May 31st, and also January 1st to April 30th. So basically 35% off January 1st through May 31st, and then 40 this summer. Does that make sense?
Yeah, they're definitely trying to get people to book earlier.
Oh yeah.
For sure.
If you're an annual pass holder, you can save at least almost a third or more of your of the cost. One of our Club 32 members, he said that he booked for Animal Kingdom, I think, for June, and he was like, I haven't seen cheap prices like that in a while. And he's an annual pass holder, and he got 40% off. So,
well, I also think you look on the quote normal discount. If the 3-day 2-night package there, I think that's very interesting, because I think that's also Disney signaling they understand, or they're just expecting a lot of people obviously to go over to Universal.
You think so?
And they're doing it on that,
like if you're going over there, come over here.
Obviously, you can save if you're going to stay longer. They have other discounts, but trying to entice people, come over here for 2 nights.
Yeah,
because I think that's what
good point.
I think a lot of people are going. I've said all along, Universal is going to have a big year next few years for sure, because that big universe is high demand. A lot of people are going to go over there, but Disney is hoping or counting on a spillover effect to them. So incentivizing, it's like, hey, come over here for 2 nights. Like, you can get a lot of people that may say, oh, we can save $200. Let's go over there and do that and add on a trip over there. I think that's for sure what that whole little package is. Yeah.
Yeah. Another ticket discount is the Florida Resident Discover Disney ticket. And this is the thing. This is so cheap. It's 4 days for $240, and 3 days for $225. This is a just base ticket, no park hopper, but it's valid January 13th through May 23rd, and they do not have to be used in consecutive days. So if you have someone that doesn't want to get like an annual pass, or doesn't want to just do like one ticket or 1 day each time, like they're paying out of pocket for that, the 4-day ticket is really good. It's $60 a day.
Yeah, I mean
that's crazy.
It is a good value for sure.
I looked. I couldn't find any information about blockout dates for this, so I don't know if there are any.
There may not be.
Again, I could be wrong, but everything I looked at with this deal, I was just like, oh, okay, looks like it's good for any of those days, basically from starting Monday to Memorial Day weekend or right before it. I don't know. That's crazy.
Yeah. I mean,
they do this a lot though. They do this frequently. They'll have a Discover ticket like this.
Yeah. And I think obviously leaning on your APs and your Florida residents during a time period when Disney's done this historically, when they need people in the parks, it's slower time, whatever it is. So I think obviously offering the discounts on that end pretty aggressively is them definitely trying to bolster the attendance for this year.
Yeah.
So again, if you're looking to go, it is a good deal. I mean, $60 a day is some of the cheapest you'll find, especially given how much ticket prices have gone up.
Yeah, for sure. And then another thing, this isn't really a discount, but it's more like a promotion. If you have a stay booked with a Disney Collection hotel, and that's include like the values, the moderates, the deluxe villas, and I believe it's Swan Dolphin and maybe Four Seasons is in there. I'm not sure. That you can get a free water park entry on the first day of your stay. And this was announced back in June, I believe, May or June. And this is, I don't know. We kind of talked about this before, and we don't know how many people will use this.
It's a strange perk because I think it's something they can just show and say overall promotional value. Like you're getting, you can get access to the water parks for free.
Sure.
I think locals will take advantage of it a lot.
I do.
People
I
in
agree.
the know will take advantage of it a lot. I feel like there's a lot of people are going to check in, and someone's going to tell them like, "Oh, by the way, you can go to water park today for free," and they'll be like, "Oh, didn't know I could do that." Now, the weird thing is, it's only on the day you check in.
Right.
So they'd be like, "Oh, can we do it tomorrow?" Like, no.
Sorry, nope.
Now you could do, if you do split stays every day of your check-in day. So if you did split stays, it counts there as well.
You could do multiple days of water park without paying for it, just your hotel. If you just did like 3 different hotel stays.
Yeah, and apparently you don't have to get any special ticket. You just go in with your Magic Band, and it automatically they let you in. So
it's crazy.
It's if you're going to utilize it, it's a good perk. I
like it.
I don't know how many people will know about it. I don't know how strong the messaging is that people know it. You know what I mean? Like, again, the normie crowd coming, how many people are aware of it, or if it incentivizes them to stay at Disney. But it is another hotel perk. So I suppose we've been talking about for a long time how they need to bring more perks to the people who are staying at the hotels. So
I mean, I like it. We just have the Sorcerer Pass, and we don't have the water park add-on option. So with this, it's like, well, thank you.
Right.
We don't have to do that now.
Yeah. Very true. So that's all the discounts. Now, I won't be surprised. Like I said, I think we'll probably see more discounts, probably depending on how bookings are looking. Now, back whenever the Wizarding World, I think Hogsmeade first opened, Disney did run like a buy a day, get a day free back then.
Whoa, really?
I'm pretty sure they did, or something along those lines.
Okay.
I won't be surprised they do some pretty aggressive ticket discounts if the bookings aren't looking great, or the scenarios with Epic opening are. I think a win for Disney during this time period is they maintain their attendance or maybe see a slight increase. I know they've signaled they think they will. But if their attendance is not looking, like I say, they have a drop or a significant drop. The only card they have left to play is more discounts. Mm-hmm. So they're not going to bring. They really can't bring anything else open that they have already announced. So I think you potentially could see a lot more discounts coming on top of the ones they've already announced.
Yep, I agree.
And you could see it honestly for multiple years, because
maybe
the things they announced at D23, they're not going to be ready by next year or even 2 years. So I think you could see multiple years here where they get really aggressive with discounts as they're trying, and let's say the scenario of if Epic Universe opens and it is successful, which it seems like it will be, but and Universal sees a big uptick and they maintain that, I think that's where you could see quite an extended period of time here with a lot of discounts at going to Disney World.
I do have a question really quickly, and you may know the answer to this because I haven't looked into it. Has attendance rebounded completely from 2019 yet?
No. I mean, no. Okay. I can't remember the exact number, but they haven't got the attendance numbers back that they had in 2019.
I do remember that 2019 was a huge year. It was busy all the time.
Yeah.
Year. I remember it being crazy.
Yeah. I mean, really the only park between Disney and Universal that has gotten back to pre-COVID levels of attendance, it has been Universal. They've kind of, a lot of people started turning to Universal during COVID times and stuff like that. It's obviously got more popular because of Wizarding World and Epic Universe, but yeah, they haven't maintained their attendance levels. Now Disney has monetized, fast passes and other things to make it up in revenue, but actual attendance numbers, no, they have not recovered the attendance they had in 2019.
Thank you.
I don't even think it's really been close, actually.
I don't know. I'll look into it.
I can't remember. I want to say it was almost 20 million at Magic Kingdom in 2019.
Oh, for sure. I remember seeing that number.
But I think I think they've gotten up to like 17 million since then. But I don't know. I don't think anywhere near what they had in 2019.
Okay.
So
thank you.
You're very welcome.
Okay.
And then the part that is, well, not as much as it's going to impact this year, but you do have closure. Well, some of this will impact this year, but closures in construction are going to be something. So obviously, of the discounts and things going on, but there's going to be a lot of this stuff going on because they announced, of course, the D23 about all the things coming, and then some other unexpected, ride refurbs and things like that will be happening in 2025.
Yep. So this is not an exhaustive list of what's going to be down for like refurbishment and whatever, but it's close. So Big Thunder Mountain Railroad is now closed until 2026.
I mean, Frontierland's going to be rough for a bit.
Yeah.
I mean,
Liberty Bell, Riverboat, Tom Sawyer Island, they're closing. That's to be announced, but I'm guessing it's coming soon.
Depending on permits, They still haven't got approval from Florida. They refiled the permit thing, but there's no guarantee. I mean, we'll have to wait and see what the state says. But as of now, they are going forward with, getting rid of the Rivers of America and all that stuff over there. But Big Thunder Mountain going down, and it's pretty extensive. I mean, it seems like it's going to be at least a partial, if not a full track replacement.
Yeah.
And the things I had been hearing was there was pretty structural issues with Big Thunder, which makes me wonder if maybe there, it's Florida, could be like sinkholes and things making it, but like the steel's old. Like, it's an older ride. So I think, it's the timing isn't great. And this is something like everyone thought, they did a refurb of Big Thunder Mountain not that long ago. And I guess they didn't go to this extent here. But I don't know if this is something they've known about or something they just found in some inspections and things like that. But as part of it, you're going to have a track replacement. Not sure. They haven't announced. They just said you're going to see more magic, but the assumption is going to be the projection tech that they have out in Disneyland at the final scene there, where it's got like the fuse going.
Yeah,
that's supposed to be coming over to the one in Disney World as well.
That'd be great.
Yeah. So we, I don't. A lot of people wondered, like, are they going to change a bunch of stuff? I don't even think to Disney standards, there's nothing in here that's like offensive, quote unquote. I mean, that I know of. So I don't think they're going to change a lot of aspects. I hope they won't.
I can't.
It doesn't.
I don't think of anything.
Doesn't need to be changed. I'm sure they'll update some things here. I mean, some of the areas of the queue are definitely worn down.
Mm-hmm.
So it needs a little bit of TLC, but it's not at a great time considering they already are going to have a lot of construction, and one of your biggest attractions is going to be out until the latest filing was until March of 2026.
Yeah. That's how I think that's when the permit expires. So it'll definitely be close to
and
that.
It could go longer.
Yep. Also in Magic Kingdom, Astro Orbiter is going to be closed until the summer.
Yeah.
That's not a big, that doesn't really.
Although it eats up a lot of people because that line is slow.
I guess it is. But for me, I don't ride it. So, but anyway,
right.
Hall of Presidents will also close January 20th to change over to the current administration. So I don't know. That depends. I mean, since, they already have his animatronic. So I don't know if they're going to change it.
They need to redo it.
Because
it's very obvious, at least to me, like when they unveiled that thing. They clearly thought somebody else was going to win.
Person. Right.
And they're like, oh, because you remember it took them a while to get it done.
I remember.
I think that
it was like a year and a half.
I think they were further along the process and they were like, oh, just use the base model. Didn't really fit there.
Yeah.
But
so
maybe they'll redo that. But I mean, I suppose it could be kind of a popular thing. I don't know. When it reopens because it's new or something like that. But
maybe. And then over at, we kind of already talked about this a little bit, but over at Animal Kingdom, Fossil Fun Games, Triceratops Spin, Chester and Hester's Gift Shop, that whole area right there is closing on Sunday. Mm-hmm. That's its last day of operation. And then it's closing in and they're going to start prepping it for the Encanto section, and everything else is still there. So
it's
Boneyard,
the tropical Americas.
I'm sorry. Well, specifically the Encanto stuff.
I know.
Boneyard, Restaurantosaurus, and Dinosaur will stay open for 2025. So it's not completely closing, but just part of it.
Yeah. When do you think that whole thing gets done? Because that'll be the first one that gets done out of anything they're going to do.
I believe.
And I mean done, the whole thing.
The whole thing?
Or maybe the first part, the Encanto part. Because they are going to open it in sections.
What did they say, 27? That's what they're saying?
That's what they said.
I mean, it could be 27. It could. I would say closer to 28 for everything. Maybe even longer. I don't know.
I've said all along, I don't think we see anything before 2028, personally. I mean, they notoriously take a long time for construction anyways.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I mean, that's the big question to me as well, is like all the things they announced obviously is a rebuttal to Epic Universe. They can come out and say that it's not, but it's very obvious that it is. But the longer it takes for these things to come open, obviously that's the longer that in which they won't have a rebuttal to, try and counter it on some level. So it's essentially, if it is 2028, you're basically giving Universal and Epic Universe like almost 3 years, just really without other than discounts and things like that as a way to like really rebuttal them. Yeah. So That's why I said I think Disney's win in this is if they maintain attendance, or even if there's a slight decrease, but they don't go much further down than that. I think that if I'm Disney, I would say that is a win.
Yeah.
But if that's why I was saying discounts are the only other card they have left to play, because none of these things are going to be open.
Yeah.
In the near future.
It's true. Cali River Rapids is closed for its yearly refurb until at least March, maybe April.
Yeah.
It's usually a couple months. Over at Epcot, the Grand Fiesta Tour is now under refurb until March. The water has been drained, so a couple months of that being down. And then over at Hollywood Studios, Monsters Inc. Land is supposed to start TBA. I don't know, Muppet Vision 3D still open. They haven't said anything about when it's closing. There was some construction stuff you can kind of see over there behind the wall, but they haven't announced anything.
They haven't. I wonder, because part of what they're doing is going to go into that parking lot. I wonder if they start on that part first.
That would be the easiest thing to do.
I mean, that would be the smart thing to do.
Yeah.
And then close down Muppet Vision area or whatever once that part's done, and then you come in there. I mean, that would be the way to do it, because then Hollywood Studios is already a park that has issues with wait times as it is.
Yeah.
So you're going to have Muppet Vision not there, plus, Pizza Rizzo, and then, you're not going to have, whenever they do that, Rock and Roller Coaster. So you're going to have, depending on how they do it.
I think you're right. I think they'll start in the parking lot, and then I think they'll work on Mama Melrose, and then that Stage 1 company store that they're going to take out in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
I think that'll be the first things they do. And I think Pizza Rizzo and Muppet Vision 3D will stay for longer. And then eventually they'll do Pizza Rizzo, and then Muppet Vision will be the last thing.
I guess the other question, when do they start on Rock and Roller Coaster? I'm assuming after Monsters, Inc. is done.
I don't know.
They haven't given a timeline on it.
I know.
Because the other issue,
I don't think they know.
I would assume they wouldn't do it at the same time, because Rock and Roller Coaster eats up a lot of people.
It really does.
And so if you did both of those at the same time in a park that already has wait time issues, Hollywood Studios is now, depending on the crowds, but Hollywood Studios is going to be a rough go there for a bit.
So do you think they'll open like Monsters Inc. Land, Monstropolis, like when it's all done, and then do Rock and Roller Coaster?
That's what I don't know. That's a good question. I
think that would make the most sense.
It would, unless they're wanting to do it all at once. But again, a lot of it depends too. If they're looking at the attendance not being strong anyways, maybe they do it all at the same time just to get it done.
I don't know.
I don't know. I guess a lot of it depends. I don't think Magic Kingdom would get hit as hard. I think Animal Kingdom gets hit hardest, the most.
Mm-hmm.
The questions I would have would be between Epcot and Hollywood Studios. How do those fare? Because a lot of it's going to depend on how people visit. Like I said, I don't think they're not going to go to Disney necessarily. Not going to go as long. So if they, hey, let's go to Magic Kingdom, what do they choose if they do 2 days? Do they choose Hollywood Studios or do they choose Epcot?
Right.
I think that's going to be very interesting how that sort of plays out with the, I guess you could just say, the crowd or the behavior of the guests coming over.
Yeah. I guess we shall see, as we like to say.
Eventually, we'll find out. But yeah, that's all the closures and construction going on, and then
major ones.
The construction will be going on. Obviously, that's the other thing. 3 out of the 4 parks, you're going to have major construction going on for years. How does I think it is going to
impact for Epcot,
which is funny.
That's funny.
But I think the construction on Frontierland area and all that is going to have a pretty big impact on Magic Kingdom in general.
Yeah.
So it just depends on is the construction a deterrent as well? That's another thing too. During all this,
I mean, it's Florida. Construction moves slow.
Well, if you're talking highways, this is very true.
Oh my gosh!
The fastest road construction I've ever seen, and I know why, which is all the traffic work they're doing near Epic Universe with that circle interchange and everything like that. It's because Universal's paying for it. People are like, why is it moving so fast? I'm like, because it's being paid by them. If you look at I-4, it's always under some sort of construction.
Well, and they have motivation to do it. It's like, we got to get it done before.
Yeah, the city and the county really want that done because they're anticipating a lot of a boost of the local economy as well. So they have a lot of incentive.
That traffic.
I'll be curious because I said at the time where they're building that, you drive down there now and you're just like, how in the world is this? Like, it's just a very residential area.
I mean, it is close to houses, yeah.
But the way that traffic circle is supposed to work, it's supposed to be also a landmark as well. Like it's supposed to be like I think it's almost their version of not a monorail, but it's something unique to that area that's supposed to be unique to Epic Universe, because that's how you actually get into the park is off that thing. And they also have the bus lanes on there as well. So it's all they are doing a lot of stuff to help with the traffic there, because I think that's going to be that would be a major issue if they didn't do any of the road work there. But
that's why they're going fast.
That's why they're going fast. Other than that, road work in Florida basically goes at a snail's pace. But I wouldn't call it a racket, but I won't say it's not a racket.
Okay.
Just saying.
Okay.
I'll be shocked. We were driving down I-4 and there's no construction.
That would be a shock.
I've never seen it in all the years I've driven down I-4.
Yeah.
So, all right. And then the last part we'll hit on is events that are going on this year.
Okay, like every year for the last couple of years, we have lots of festivals at Epcot. So the first one coming up is Festival of the Arts, and that's January 17th through February 24th. And they just released the foodie guide today or yesterday. I don't know. My days are running together. So Epcot, they do a lot of festivals every year. They have 4. The first one coming up is Festival of the Arts, and that runs January 17th through February 24th. And we just got a list of the food menus for the foodie, what are they called? Food studios. And lots of seafood stuff. There's 2 new food studios. One is called Opening Bites, and the other one is called Fictional Victuals. I don't know. I can't say it. How do you say it?
Where's that?
Fictional victuals.
I think it's fictional. Yeah, victuals, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's got some squid pasta, some charred octopus, some just interesting dishes. We got some returning favorites like the deconstructed dish that has the BLT and the key lime pie. There's a Figment inspiration station that's always, it's been there for a couple of years, and we have a brand new Figment premium popcorn bucket. Have you seen this?
I have.
So what is he sitting on? It looks like Earth.
I guess.
What's it supposed to be? Oh, anyway, it's like a circular ball that Figment is sitting on, and the popcorn's in the middle there. It also lights up, so it'll be available there.
Usually the Figment popcorn bucket stuff does pretty well.
It does. So I'm not going to go through the whole menu because, of course, we'll review it when we get to go to the festival. But so the two new food booths, they'll have the wonderful walk of colorful cuisine, like the food stroll that they do every year. I'm sure they'll have the wall, the paint by numbers mural that you paint every year, merchandise, all of the wonderful art, like the paintings and the art creations they have throughout the World Showcase, and artists come and sign their works of art. And I don't know, the Broadway series is also there too.
True.
So lots going on. It's going to be a cold opening day though, because it's cold right now.
So it was cold in Missouri, and we got back and it followed us, and it's been. I mean, for Florida, listen, if it gets under 50 for Florida.
Oh man, that is cold.
People down here start grabbing parkas.
They sure do.
And by the way, not as near as many people out.
Right.
There's I'm staying inside.
Yeah, it's not nearly as much. I get it. It's fine. It's fine.
I mean, I remember the days in Missouri. Sometimes it would get like -10, -20, and I'm like, I'm not leaving. Not going outside today.
Nobody wants to leave. But anyway, so again, that starts in about. I guess a week from today it starts. And then Flower and Garden Festival is March 5th through June 2nd this year. Food and Wine Festival, we don't have dates for that yet, but it'll be this fall. And then Festival of the Holidays will be late fall into early winter.
Yes.
So lots of festivals as always. I don't think we'll have any more summer festivals unless they're just like, hey, we need people to come back to the parks if the attendance is low or something. Maybe they'll come up with a summer festival this year. I don't know.
I just don't think people like doing festivals. The World Showcase is so hot. I just don't think people in general, the whole idea of being outside and eating food and walking around is not near as appealing as it is in the spring and the fall.
Correct.
In the winter.
Yeah.
So they may just,
I mean, I think that's partly why I like food and wine is my least favorite. It's too hot.
For much of it is. Even before it was in the summer. It's still like you get into September, it's still warm.
Still really warm.
Yeah.
We also have Disney After Hours events coming back. We've had the first one already, Magic Kingdom. We also have Epcot and Hollywood Studios. And something that is interesting, that if you are going to be doing Magic Kingdom After Hours this year, take note that Tiana's Bayou Adventure is not open during the event.
Yeah, that was something they just sort of did. They didn't announce it.
That away.
I'd be curious as to the reason.
I don't know.
But I'm sure for a lot of people that's pretty disappointing.
Maybe it's only for the colder months.
It could be.
Cold,
it is cold
and
right
it's
now.
at night.
So it could be simply that it's just cold out.
I think the first one, what happened, like it got down pretty. It was pretty chilly the first time. So maybe that they just closed it because of the weather.
It's possible.
I don't know. So it could be open for future events. I don't know. And then also Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party will be here. Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party. And then, of course, Disney Jollywood Nights will be going to its third year. So lots of events throughout the year. This is not an exhaustive list, but it's just an example of what will be going on.
Yeah.
So lots to look forward to.
There's lots of stuff. Here's a question.
Okay.
How do you think, obviously 2025 shaping up, how do you think Disney fares with the opening of Epic Universe and everything how that's looking for this year going on the next few years?
I mean, I don't always like to compare Universal to Disney and like as an apples to apples, but because it's a major theme park opening and it will affect their attendance.
I mean, it's that thing
slightly.
where you want to talk about. It's obviously the reason for most of the things we're seeing. Like it's the elephant in the room. If you don't want to talk about it, it's the cause, I guess you could say.
So how do I think the crowds will be influenced, or is that what you're asking me?
Do you think Disney's going to just be okay on attendance, or do you think they're going to lose attendance? Like, how do you think they're going to fare with it all?
I think...
And saying I don't know is a viable answer as well.
Well, I don't know for sure, but I would have to say that, like, there's a certain, like, amount of people that will choose to, okay, maybe won't go to Disney this year since they don't have anything new, or there's lots of things closed, just new shows and stuff. Maybe we'll just do Universal this year. I can see there's some people doing that. I can also see some people saying, I'm not a Universal person. I don't care about Harry Potter. I don't care about all of their IP stuff, and we'll just do Disney like usual. I can see that too. I can also see the people, and I think this might be the case for a bigger amount of people, would be to do Disney and like a Universal like split trip. I think that might be more common. Now, I don't think this will completely take away like all the days from Disney. Like they'll do only Universal and Disney. I think maybe they would have done like maybe 5 days at Disney. Maybe they're only doing 3. And then doing more days at Universal to experience it. I don't know. But again, I don't think the attendance is going to be super significant. I think you'll definitely be able to tell a little bit of difference. But again, that's just my opinion, and I don't have a crystal ball.
Right.
We can just kind of go by, what people think. And again, it could be different depending on what time of year it is. Like with summer, with kids out of school and everything, I think summer is going to be very, very slow for Disney. I can see that. I could be summer being slow. Now into the fall and stuff, maybe not as much.
Yeah, like I don't like to make predictions on it. I do think there are some warning signs for Disney. If you look at Forbes, even did an article saying the last 2 years are the lowest they've had in theme park revenue or profit or revenue, one of the two in the last 2 years. I think there's a lot of, if I'm Disney management, I'm not sleeping great at night because they're going to say what they're going to say, but they're even signaling lower demand going into the first part of 2025. Thinking they're going to get a bump when from Epic Universe. Now, I do think there are going to, like you said, traditionally people go for 4 or 5 nights at Disney, go over to Universal for 1 to 2 days. I think there is a vast majority of people that does flip, and they spend most of the time at Universal and still go over to Disney. I think that's a possible scenario you would see, and I think Disney even some of the discounts they're doing are sort of like counting on some people doing that. I guess the question would be how many of those, like how much does that hit their attendance? I think for Disney, I'd be very surprised if they saw an increase, personally speaking. Like I said, I think if they maintain or see a slight decrease, they saw like a 2% decrease when Hogsmeade opened.
I will agree with that. I don't think they'll see an increase.
Yeah, I think that would be a win. Now, the scenario that is the one that is out there, and I think a lot of it does depend on how Epic Universe goes. I think the word of mouth is good, and like everything runs fine, and people, all they hear is positive things. Obviously, that's going to lead to more people booking. There are people that are going to put it off because they say it's going to be too busy, so maybe they take advantage of the discounts. There's a lot of variables. I guess it depends on the people that are coming for Epic Universe, because Disney has stated they think they're going to break into a new market of people. I'm wondering if that's them. A lot of people going to Epic Universe are going to be people that are like Nintendo fans, Harry Potter, like a lot of these people that aren't necessarily like theme park people historically. Maybe they're counting on those people also coming over to Disney, or hoping. So I don't know. I'm not going to be surprised one bit if they see a decrease. I guess a level of decrease, and then what is I'm very curious. Again, I love competition. I love a good fight. I want both Universal and Disney to be very strong and come up with the best offerings, because the consumer wins. So I'm very curious in the chess match.
Yeah.
So if obviously I think Universal is going to see a 40% plus bump in attendance from Epic Universe. If you look at historically, like Hogsmeade, they saw about 35%. I think the hype and everything about Epic Universe is more than we've seen for anything, because we haven't seen a brand new theme park open in like 20 years.
Yeah.
I don't know how that's going to transfer over to. I have no clue. And I think anybody saying they know, like there's predictions and people saying things like, obviously I don't think anybody knows, because there's no apples to apples comparison. So I'm not going to claim that I know. I will just be very surprised if they see an increase in attendance. I won't be surprised at all if there's a decrease or a significant decrease to attendance. Just because of all the, obviously they got the discounts, but like none of these things they announce are going to be open for years. And a lot of people, and really too, something to think about is a lot of people with they have issues with how Disney's been doing the theme parks. You got the maintenance stuff. You've got the DAS stuff, the brand damage to some degree. Like how much does that affect people in general? It's just a lot of things that are not just the offerings in the theme parks that can go into this. So I'll be very curious how that plays out, which we won't know the numbers until 2026.
Yeah.
But you can get an idea of wait times and things like that too. But
true.
And also you'll be able to know by Disney. If they're offering even more discounts, that does tell you that they're trying to get their bookings up and things like that. So
yeah.
But either way, it's an exciting year nonetheless.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I mean, I love new parades. I love new shows. Like all that stuff is very nice. I mean, for a while we didn't have anything new. You know, so I mean, even though it's not like a new land or a new theme park, we can still enjoy the new stuff that comes. So yeah, it'll be a good year.
It'll be a good year regardless of whatever. Theme parks are just fun anyways. I think the thing that I'm curious about a lot is the Pirates Tavern. Like, how is that?
Yeah.
Like, how does that go?
Because it's Disney Pirates, not regular Pirate Tavern. So it's like, how are they going to Disney-fy it?
They're going to be nice pirates.
Nice Disney pirates.
Nice and everyone's welcome in their Pirate Tavern. Because we know that's how pirates were. Like, oh, welcome. Yar, newcomer. Come be friends with me.
Right, exactly.
I think that's exactly how pirates would be.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, all right, well, anything else you want to add? What we talked about?
No. Just that, I'm looking forward to all the stuff we get to do as well at the parks and do the festivals. We got a Club 32 meetup coming up at the end of the month. We've got some, obviously we'll be going to Universal for like Mardi Gras, Flower and Garden Festival. Our family's coming down to Florida. We get to spend some time with them, and got some cool hotel stays coming up too.
True.
We'll talk about
True.
Yeah.
Well, like obviously we will be doing a lot of Epic Universe stuff. So if you want to hear that, watch that or whatever, we have a CTM Universal show where we'll be talking all that stuff because there'll be a lot of stuff to talk about on that front there. Yeah. But just in Disney, I mean, I'm curious of all these things, and obviously I think of the parade. Even though I'm not a parade person, I do think that's something a lot of people wanted, and I am curious of the Bluey stuff. That's something I'm the impact of that will be very, very curious to me. But.
Yeah, for sure.
But I think either way, that'll do it for the show, though. Okay. For today's show, it's the first new show of 2025.
First new show of 2025. High five!
We got it done. We recorded it without interruption, and so I don't think during this, I don't think anybody's gotten sick, so that's good. I don't hear commotion outside. So,
no.
But be sure to follow us on social media. It's at Cap the Magic everywhere. even TikTok now, at Captain Magic. And again, if you want, if you'd like daily videos on theme parks, pop culture, stuff like that, you can check out the main YouTube channel at Captain Magic, closing in on 10,000 subs over there. So if you have not subscribed, go do that over there. And those are usually like 10, 15-minute videos once, sometimes 3 times per day, at least once time per day usually. So you can check that out. And again, if you want to watch video versions of the show over on YouTube, it's at CTM Podcast there. So check it out there. And be sure to check out the other shows on the network. Like I mentioned, CTM Universal, talk about Universal Studios. And we'll have the first new show of 2025 on Monday. So you can check that out. And that will become a weekly show once Epic Universe either opens or close to being open, because there's going to be a lot of things to talk about on that front there. So right now it is twice a month where we do that one. So check us out over there. Jamie also has Trip Tales, which is her trip report show. And when's the next one there coming out?
Should be in a week and a half. Not this Sunday, but the one after that.
Okay.
Yep.
And I am going to start putting those over on the YouTube channel as well. They just want to have you don't record those with video.
It'll just be audio.
Yeah, so you can catch those over there as well. So that'll be there. And then, if you want to contribute to the show, if you would like to, interact more, be part of a great group, go to some meetups. You could look at joining Club 32, and that's basically like our own Patreon where, if you want to support the show or you just want even more content, we have it all in there. We've got the Clubhouse show, which we started recording episodes there. I'm actually editing the second one, so there'll be 2 episodes there. We have the Club 32 show every Tuesday where we go live and chat. We did that last night, so that's always a good time. And then we have a Cool Kids Kitchen, which we'll be doing new ones there this month. Lots of additional content, meetups, 20% off year-round on CTM Apparel and 1901 Candle Company products. Private Facebook group. We're going to have a Discord set up as well. I'm trying to work on all the things of that. We'll see. I don't know. Facebook has been slowly just dying.
It's dying.
So trying to find another place to put it there. But for now, Facebook group is a great place. But if you've got like questions about trips and things, most of the members in there go to the parks constantly. So it's a great place to like have a brain trust if you got questions about stuff and things like that as well. So if you want to join there, you can go to ctmvip.com. We have monthly or yearly options. You can even do a free trial if you would like. And if you do a yearly subscription, you get a free t-shirt. So you get something for free either way if you would like there. And again, it's a great group there. So again, ctmvip.com is where you go for that. And I think that will do it. So happy New Year. Hope everybody had a great Christmas and looking forward to a brand new year. And I guess we'll just keep doing what we're doing. I don't know.
All right.
I have nothing new to announce. New me, new you. Wait, new year, new me.
New year, new you.
New year, new me. I change a lot. It's true.
Said no one
It's
ever
true.
about you.
I'm pretty consistent in that.
You
way.
are consistent.
Is that good?
I mean, yeah, for the most part.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not one to talk. I've had the same hair, like length and style for like 20 years, so whatever.
Last big change I made, I shaved my head, but that was like 4 years ago. It's been consistent since then, though. But either way, well, that'll do it for the show. So thank you, everybody, for listening and or watching. And thank you, Jamie, for joining us.
Thank you.
And as Jamie always likes to say,
We will see you in the parks.
bye.